Hey everyone, thanks for watching this video. My name is John Watts and I have for 25 years done a lot of personal injury litigation. I want to talk to you about something a little bit different. That is what type of insurance to buy. And I'm going to make a suggestion to you. Not everybody will agree with it, but I think that it's a very good suggestion. And that is, I think that you should consider getting what's known as an umbrella policy. So what's an umbrella policy? Well, kind of like the image suggests, it covers you, it goes over you. So it's a policy that would be on top of your car insurance or your homeowner's insurance. And it's to protect you if you're sued. And here's the interesting thing about it. You typically can get $1 million of umbrella policy. It might be $200 a year, $150 a year. Depends on various factors. But if you have all your, let's say all your cars, you have your homeowner's insurance, maybe you have some life insurance, all with State Farm or Allstate or whoever it is, then usually if you add that umbrella policy, it will kind of make that cheaper, at least cheaper cost to it than if you just went to a company and you had nothing but an umbrella policy there. Now, why do I say do this? Because I have sat with people that they've come to me and said, hey, look, I'm concerned about what if I lost my assets? Do I need some fancy trust set up? And I said, well, we can talk about that. But here's kind of the quick and dirty way of doing it. Get an umbrella policy. So there was a doctor that came to me one time. His house was paid for, had a ton of money in the bank, very expensive house. And he had the minimum amount of liability insurance in Alabama on his cars. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, well, that's what my agent told me to get. It's like, this is a weird thing, but most insurance agents want you to have as little of insurance as possible. Actually, let me clarify that. The agents want you to have more, but the insurance companies want that to be as little as possible, because if you, for example, run a red light, or even you're accused of running a red light and somebody's injured, well, it's easier if State Farm says, hey, look, all we have is $25,000 in insurance. But if you've got $1 million, it's harder for State Farm. Now, the danger to you having very low insurance is the insurance company may offer everything you have, and the plaintiff says, the injured person says, that's not enough. I want to get your personal assets. I want to take your home from you. I want to take your cars from you. I want to wipe out your bank account. I want to get to all of your assets. And so rather than setting up an elaborate, irrevocable trust and all that, which can be appropriate, but I'm saying this is the easy thing. You call your Allstate, your State Farm agent, you say, I want to get a quote on an umbrella policy for $1 million. Now, they'll make you raise your limits on, for example, your auto insurance. Frankly, it's a good idea. Okay. Now, don't do this if you can't afford it, but if you can afford it, usually the difference between a little bit of insurance and a lot of insurance is not that much. And you also want to make sure your uninsured or underinsured benefits are as high as possible also. And so one reason I kind of joke with people, when we're meeting in person with them, I'll say, look, this is my way to sort of trick you into getting the right amount of insurance. Go get the umbrella policy, because I'll make you get that right amount of insurance. And, the person I'm meeting with, they kind of laugh at that. And the idea is this is just a very simple, usually very cheap way of making sure you're protected. Because the way that normally insurance limits work, for example, in a car wreck, is at some point your insurance company, they feel like there's significant danger to you. And we'll talk in other videos about how you make sure that your insurance company does this, that they offer enough money to settle the case. If you're at fault, even if you disagree, but maybe it's kind of contradictory evidence, or maybe legitimately you look down and you ran a red light and you injured somebody, God forbid that happens, well, you want them to be compensated. So you want your insurance company to offer enough, including up to policy limits. Well, if policy limits are $25,000 or $50,000, somebody spent 2 or 3 weeks in UAB, they're not going to settle for that if you have personal assets. But if you have $250,000, you have $1 million umbrella policy, and they offer that, that's pretty hard to turn down. And so it protects your assets. That's the whole point of insurance. I mean, why do I have insurance on my house or on a building? Well, if it burns down, I don't want to have to write a check to rebuild that. What if it floods? What if, whatever happens? Same thing with my car. What if, God forbid, I'm negligent and I injure somebody? Well, I feel terrible about that, and I would want them to be fully compensated. So I don't want to have to reach into my own pocket to do that, because it might be $50,000, $100,000, $500,000. That's why I've had insurance since I was, 16 years old. Okay, and so I suggest to you at least look at getting an umbrella policy, because for the amount of insurance you get, the cost may be very little, and it may be worth that to you. So hope that that's helpful, and I will catch you in the next video, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.